What's going on, everyone?
Hello,
Welcome to the Journey Podcast. I'm your host, C. Leone, and I'm here joined by my good friend,
Isaac Frame. That is me.
Isaac Frame. Man, man, oh man. We have been friends for how long now?
Long time. Long time.
Been
Um,
over a decade, right?
yeah. We met each other in 2012 at
Yep,
Hollywood Theaters in Colorado Springs.
indeed. My social security number is seven. I'm just kidding.
You show me
But
yours, I'll show
yeah.
you mine.
Ooh, buddy. I don't know. This
Yeah.
might be. I have to go to OnlyFans with this one.
Uh, who says that isn't the ultimate destination for this? I don't
I gotta go.
know. Whoa. Yeah. No. Who knows where
Whoa.
this is going to end up? But here we are. We are here now.
Yeah, here we are. Here we are, man. This is the introduction. Who knows how often this is gonna happen? Only time will tell. But yeah, this is like, how did we even? Well, not even. I don't even want to say we. How did you just come up with this idea? Like you just kind of threw it out today, didn't you?
I did. We've mentioned podcasts in the past, and I think it's originating out of the idea that when we talk, we tend to just ramble for hours. And no matter what we're talking about, it seems like the deepest topic that we can possibly conjure for some reason. Um,
Mm.
because I think that in general, you and I are very creative people. And I would, if you would have asked me in 2012 when I was 18 years old, if I was a dreamer or a doer, I would have said dreamer. And I think after starting in my career and developing as a person, I've realized that dreaming only gets you so far. And it does take a lot of hard work and like dedication to your craft, whatever that might be, to get anywhere. Um, and I think both of us have developed in that way. I would consider you more as a visionary than I am at this point, but I think both of us are just as much of a doer, worlds more than we were when we were 18 years old, or however old we were in 2012.
I would agree with that to a certain extent. I would definitely say that by far you are much more of a doer than I am at this point. I am definitely a visionary, but I do feel like I've kind of leaned too far into that. Um, I've been doing a lot of reading lately, so it's especially like a lot of on like psychology and ego. And what I've actually realized recently is I was almost dreaming too much because, we all, not all of us, but us creatives, we kind of feel like we have this calling. And you and I were kind of lucky enough to know what we feel as though we were called to do on this earth. Um, and for me, you, it's filmmaking and everything in regards to film. Like you're the guy. For me, it's always been music, but also like content creation as a whole. The issue that I've run into though is that because of my huge ego, I've ascribed an unnatural I've ascribed an unnatural importance to my calling,
Mm,
right? I made it
sure.
a lot more important than it actually is. So important, in fact, that I'm too stressed out to even do it sometimes.
Oh, I feel
So,
that, brother.
you know what I mean? So, like, just thinking that, like, I really, this album is going to change the world. It might, but if I'm so stressed out about wanting it to change the world that I never do it, how am I ever going to improve? Right? Like that should happen naturally. And also, we're allowed to have fun. That's something that I had to learn and relearn time and time again. This is fun. There's no reason why I need to be take it so serious.
Sure.
It's a form of expression, you know?
Right. Yeah, and honestly, I can see, even if you don't see it, I see massive development on your side in the doing department.
Thank you.
And I think a lot of that has to do with the baby steps. I see your reels and YouTube shorts or whatever of just getting out of bed in the morning. And I think for the majority of the population, that is hard. Like that's something that I struggle with.
75 hard.
Yeah, 75 hard. Exactly. And your new excursion now of posting content every day. And
Every day.
if you fail, you got to start over. That's
6 months.
huge. It is a
Yeah.
lot of effort to do that. So props to
Yeah.
you on that. I feel like putting yourself through that not only gives you good habits, but it also helps you in the larger things in life, because I don't think people realize if you were to just do 15 minutes every day on the most important thing that you want to accomplish, you would get it done. It might take forever,
Absolutely.
um, but it gives you time to maybe spend an extra 5 minutes, maybe an extra 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Maybe you look up and you've been doing it for 2 hours and you're like, oh, wow, I'm actually having fun doing this thing, whatever it is. For me, that's been script writing. Writing the story that I know that I'm called to write is really hard to do. And when you said that, I feel that on a spiritual level, because it's so big. It's so like, you don't want to let it down. Like it's your baby. You want to do it justice.
You're
Um,
absolutely right about that, brother.
yeah.
And I just wanted to say, because like you said something, you hit on something that was really important. So for those who don't know, I just did the 75 hard challenge. Well, essentially for every day for 75 days, I worked out twice a day. One workout had to be outside. Drank a gallon of water every day. Read 10 pages of a self-help book every day. Took a progress photo every day as well for 75 days. And if you missed a day, you had to start over again. And man, I didn't believe that I could do it at the beginning, which is kind of why I started it. And took about 5 tries and 9 months, but eventually I did it. And you'd be surprised, just like you're saying, 15 minutes, or if you just read 10 pages of any book, you'd be surprised how in 20 days, 200 pages is a lot, you know?
Yeah.
But one of the most interesting things about that is like becoming physically fit was something that I rubber banded with. I would get fit, I'd make progress, and then I'd kind of like back off. But being locked into a challenge where you have to work out twice every single day, I was getting the fitness in the physique that I was getting was a byproduct of the more important thing that I was gaining. Because like even though I was gaining muscle, the main muscle that I was building was discipline.
Mm. Right, right. Yeah. And like that's beyond habits. Like the habits are just a great byproduct of those
Mm-hmm.
actions. But I think our friendship is actually living, breathing proof that little bits at a time develop largely over time.
Oh
And,
yeah,
us as friends, like we'll go months without talking. But when we do talk, dude, it's
no
like
time ever
right where
passed.
it's right where we left off. But also we share in the development of our journey, and we
Yeah,
we can talk about, yeah, I learned this last month, and like these are my goals, and this is where I'm going to be. In your case, after my deployment in 6 months, I'm going to be this person. And I was like, great, I'm going to
yeah,
be this person.
yeah.
And when we talk again, like, yeah, it's like where we left off, but also we have all of this progress to show. And it's like, I learned the same exact thing that you did. And I think a lot of what you and I are learning right now, and probably what our first episode is going to be about, is sacrifice and life changes.
Hmm.
As broad as that is, I think it's inevitable. Life
Absolutely.
will change. Life will throw you curveballs, and it's very easy to fall on the unhealthy side of that development.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and that's the whole point of why we're here, I think.
Absolutely. And, especially when it comes to us creative types, if we really ever want to go somewhere or take our art somewhere, there has to be some kind of sacrifice along the way, you know, whether it's time or if you don't have any sponsorships, money, relationships, because as you journey down the life, people are going to want to still be around you and you may not be able to hang out with people as much as you want, right? That's kind of like the curse of being really locked into this art style. But I think one of the most interesting things that I read, the most eye-opening things, came from a book called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. And when I read this quote the first time, I think it was probably my fifth attempt, maybe like day 12 or 13 on my last attempt. No, fourth attempt. I read this quote from the book, and it was, "The paradox seems to be, as Socrates demonstrated long ago, that the truly free individual is free only to the extent of his own self-mastery, while those who will not govern themselves are condemned to find masters to govern over them."
Mm.
That's a bar, dude.
Wow. And I think the majority of the population does seek leaders. And in the artistic community, in the creative community, it's, not to be too on the nose with Annie here, but it is a hard knock life, you know, and being an artist, being a creative is a struggle. It's very, very hard to break into that top 1% of success. And yet, I don't know the percentages, but large portion of the population, that's what they live and breathe on is creativity. And
Mm-hmm.
we're just two of those people. So I think it is an element of finding how our creativity can be fulfilling, and at the same time be healthy, to our development. And that is a hard line to draw. I know, especially for me, like it comes in the form of work-life balance, because my work is my creativity, which is what I thrive on, but it takes a sacrifice. It takes a lot of my time,
Mm-hmm.
to do that. So that is a really good quote.
It's my
One
favorite,
owns
man.
self-mastery.
And you know what? It's so funny because whenever I looked at it, I was immediately convicted in a good way because, for those who've been on my channel for a while, you've seen that Dan was like the person that was behind a lot of the production and all my projects. I'm forever indebted to him. But when it comes to the editing of a lot of my higher scale videos, especially all my music videos, you were the person behind that. So, because of the fact that you are a master in the craft of video editing, and Dan is a master in regards to production, I was essentially, you guys were governing over me and to still do to a certain extent. And that's okay to acknowledge that. But I also have to understand that if I ever want to truly get to my maximum potential, I'll have to become disciplined enough to master the craft to a level where I'm comfortable with, so that I'm no longer constrained to your time,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and then I can just operate and do the things that I'd like to do, which is why I'm doing the locked in challenge now, just so I can start that journey of mastery, so that so I'm no longer, not that I love you to death, but at the same time, you have your own life to live outside of me. I
Mm-hmm.
can't always wait for you. You know what I'm saying? If I want to do something, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Period.
You
Can't
know,
wait for you.
I do think that there's a point to that, and mastering your craft to a point of success that you can start delegating other points of creativity to people that you trust is probably of utmost importance. Because if there's one thing I've learned working on sets, it's not about one person's creativity. Like, take any movie, for example. Let's talk about Inception or Interstellar. It's not, yes, Christopher Nolan is a genius, and he's probably my favorite director. But if he wasn't surrounded with the top-notch level creatives in the industry, his movies wouldn't be nearly as good. Because it is the collaboration and really kind of, I don't know if delegation's the right word for it, but in your case, you're mastering the musical art craft so that you can find success, so that you can delegate to other people who are masters of their craft. And that's what humans are here to do, in my opinion, is to create. It is to, in whatever, in whatever capacity that they see fit, in whatever avenue they see fit, every human creates, even if it's just paperwork at a bank or something.
Mm-hmm.
Some people find fulfillment in that, and that's great. Other people thrive on helping other people. Take retail, for example.
Mm-hmm.
It's indirect creativity, but it is still creativity nonetheless. We are here
True.
to create. And I think that there's masters in every avenue, in every sense.
Of course.
And it's exciting to think about it that way, because then you could think, okay, I'm going to focus on my own little avenue over here. It's a deep pool, but I'm going to get as deep as I possibly can in my life. And then I'm going to branch out. I'm going to meet other people. I'm going to understand my craft more through what they are doing.
Right.
And I think that's why we're friends. That's why we've never argued about anything, because we're always like digging deeper, trying to figure out the point of it.
And I think also we're both very open too. And I think another thing about that is like my vision whenever I first got into this was never to do this on my own. Whenever I have the most fun and I feel like the best content or art is brought out of me whenever I'm bouncing ideas off of somebody else. And I don't think that'll ever change. I think I'll still always be at my best whenever I'm working with other people. But the problem is as I've gotten better on my own, there's been people who've wanted to work with me. And I'm like, when I see their work, I just don't really feel like, I feel like I'll be carrying them more than it'll be a collaborative experience.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, there's a certain, but on a higher level, there's someone who's going to look at me like that. So I got to make sure that even though I eventually always still want to work with a team, I still got to prove myself. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Otherwise, I'm going to be constrained to working really inconsistent, just dropping a banger of a Mario Bros music video once every 3 years. And that's just not, I'm trying to move quicker than that. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to rise up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you always joke about like how you're going to catch up to me, but I believe that we're on the same level. I think we're both there, dude.
Nah, you're too nice, bro. I appreciate that, but I'm nowhere near you, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's okay.
I think it is. We are in our own avenues, So it's really hard to compare apples to oranges on that, but
it's really easy for me, my boy, because you're making money off of it right now, and I'm not.
That's fair. But I would say that you are making money, maybe just not in the capacity that you want.
That's fair. I did make I haven't. I guess I would say I'm still in the negative. Not that I care though, because even though I don't think that I'm right where you're at, it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't feel like I haven't made strides and gains, because I definitely have. I would be delusional to think that I'm anywhere close to you. But I am going to catch up to you though one day. If you just continue to coast, just don't work too hard, and then I'm going to work really hard, and then I'll catch up to you in like 3 years?
I think we're going to be 60 years old on vacation somewhere in Montana, sitting on a bench, and you're still going to be all like, dude, I'm going to catch up to you someday. And you're going to have like 6 platinum records or something like that.
Yeah. And then you're going to have like 17 Grammys at that point, or like Oscars or whatever.
I hope not.
You have 17 Oscars, bro. Practice that speech, bro. I just want to thank
I want to thank my wife and everybody involved in this production. Couldn't have done it without you.
And Jordan Peterson. I really want to thank him.
He taught me the idea of responsibility and it being the key to meaning, and every young man or young woman out there should ascribe to this nature.
Every single time I talk to you, you're always like, yes, I was listening to Jordan Peterson right before this call.
Hey, Jordan Peterson is the GOAT when it comes to philosophy. I will stand by that.
Yeah, just not Twitter. He's not the GOAT when it comes to Twitter. This man be...
Some people may call him a hack, but I call him a hero.
Hey, you know what? Hey, listen, we all have our own ways of looking at things. So,
and that's that.
That's that. Ernie or Kermit or.
Man, I'm gonna get canceled in the first episode here. Yikes!
It's all good, bro. Now, listen, if you getting canceled, I'm getting canceled, bro. But you got a little bit of black immunity, so you're good, bro.
Do you want to get
You're
canceled
cool
together?
I don't know if I can be canceled. I don't know if it's possible.
Really? Well, I'm half Hispanic. Am I? It is possible for me to be canceled. I feel like that's a dumb question.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I better watch it.
Yeah, hey,
it's dangerous out there.
Exactly.
It's a volatile.
It's dangerous.
World.
It's dangerous having your own opinion.
Yeah.
How dare you think for yourself
and say whatever words come to my mind? Yikes!
Whoa, man! Not you thinking for yourself, bro. That's kind of, you might want to relax with that.
Too much.
It's all about the hive. Join the hive mind. Join us.
Join the hive mind. Bee.
Yes, I'm the beekeeper.
That was a great Jason Statham accent.
No, I've had a lot of practice in it, so
yours is so much better.
I mean, listen, bruv. One of my best friends is literally from London. From East London, so
I don't really have any friends from London, but I can tell you I've got a lot of friends from Tennessee. A couple out in LA.
Oh, in Tennessee, huh? Or Peter Piper back to Backle Pickle Peppers.
Yeah, that might be gay. I don't know.
Okay.
You seen Ted, right? That was a good movie.
Of course, yeah. Peter, yeah. Ted, yeah. The teddy bear.
Right. Well,
yeah.
I think that's where we wrap this one up.
Oh, for
sure.
Right
on Jason Statham and Patrick Warburton. I love it.
Exactly.
So if you guys didn't gather, we're starting a podcast, and we hope you join us. I hope we were clear.
Yep. And we're going to have an episode every single time.
Every single time we do, we will.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Sure will. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh!
All right.
I don't know why it does that. Ding. Okay. Cool.
We'll see y'all next time.
Well, hey, we'll see y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the journey, and get ready for this journey.
Yeah.
I gotta work on that one. Catch y'all later, guys. See y'all later.